As we begin the final part of this four-parter for the 1987 Busch Series season, the season starts to come to a close as we head to the Richmond Fairgrounds for the 25th race of the season for 120 laps around this short track. Grant Adcox and Jimmy Hensley were on the front row for the start of this one. This race had 6 cautions and 10 lead changes among 7 different drivers. There was a restart with 2 laps to go as Tommy Houston had to hold off Jimmy Hensley, and once Houston was out in front, it was nothing but smooth sailing from there, as he would go on to take the checkered flag for his second win of 1987. Jimmy Hensley was second, Ellie Ottinger finished third, Grant Adcox fourth, Sam Ard fifth, Jack Ingram sixth, Larry Pollard 7th, Rob Moroso 8th, Larry Pearson 9th, and Robert Ingram in 10th. The Busch Series heads back to the Monster Mile as after this race there will only be 5 races to go, and the championship battle has come down to Larry Pearson and Sam Ard. Jeff Hensley is on the pole with Rick Mastering next to him as we go green flag for 150 laps. This race featured 9 cautions and 10 lead changes among 7 different leaders. And after the dust settled, it was Grant Adcox who ended up being the winner of this race. Jimmy Hensley was second, Robert Ingram third, Mike Porter fourth, Ken Bouchard in fifth, Brad Teague sixth, Rick Mass seventh, Jeff Bodine eighth, Sam Ard ninth, and Glenn Jarrett in 10th. The Busch Series heads next for a late-season mashup at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And as for this race next season, NASCAR has decided to invite anyone to come compete in this race. And next year, this race will see heats and a main race in hopes the Busch Series can make this one of their premier events. Jack Ingram and Dale Jarrett roll off on the front row for this 60-lap race. 3 cautions took place in this race as well as 1 lead change among 2 different drivers. With about 10 laps to go, Larry Pearson was able to catch Jack Ingram, who had led most of the race, and he would take the lead away thanks to lap traffic. Pearson would benefit his championship run with this win. Jack Ingram is second, Ellie Ottinger third, Dale Jarrett fourth, Elton Sawyer fifth, Jimmy Hensley sixth, Rick Mass seventh, Mark Martin eighth, Larry Pollard ninth, and Brett Bodine rounds out the top 10. The Busch Series heads to the Music City for the 28th race of the season as Brett Bodine and Ellie Ottinger will lead them to the green flag at the Nashville Fairgrounds. This featured 2 cautions and 5 lead changes among 3 different drivers. Jimmy Hensley dominated most of the race in his days in car, and he would indeed end up winning this race. Brett Bodine gets second, Mike Alexander third, Larry Pearson fourth, Sam Ard fifth, Tommy Houston sixth, Rob Moroso seventh, Rick Mast eighth, Elton Sawyer ninth, and Dale Jarrett rounds out the top 10. 3 races to go. The third to last race of the 1987 season takes us to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for 120 laps around this 1.5-mile track. Quite a few Cup drivers also make a start in this one. Jeff Bodine and LD Ottinger lead the 42-car field to the green flag, as this race only had 1 caution but had 24 lead changes among 9 drivers. With 2 laps to go, it was a 3-car battle for the win between Dale Jarrett, Sam Ard, and LD Ottinger. Jarrett was able to get by Ard, and he would come back around and take the win in hopes of ending this season on high momentum. LD Ottinger second. Sam Ard continues to remain winless in 1987 as he finishes third, Rusty Wallace fourth, Rick Mast fifth, Donnie Allison sixth, Jimmy Hensley seventh, Grant Adcox eighth, Bill Elliott ninth, and Rob Moroso in 10th. The Busch Series also makes a return to Rockingham, as we have just this race and the season finale at Martinsville left. It all comes down to these last 2 races for Pearson and Ard. Rick Mast and Dale Jarrett lead to the green flag as we continue the march to the season finale, as this race had a couple cautions with 9 lead changes among 6 different drivers. Shortly after, LD Ottinger takes the lead from Rick Mast. After about 30 laps, Rob Moroso would end up leading for the majority of the race, but in the final 10 laps, Rusty Wallace got through the final restart and ran away with the lead, and he will go on to win at Rockingham. Brett Bodine finishes in second, LD Ottinger third, Rob Moroso falls to fourth, Brad Teague fifth, Grant Adcox sixth, Jeff Hensley seventh, Jack Ingram eighth, Darrell Waltrip ninth, and Larry Pearson rounds out the top 10. It all comes down to this. It's the final race of the 1987 NASCAR Busch Series season for Sunday Night Lights. In terms of silly season and other news, that information will come at a later date. At latest, you will hear it in the 1988 preview video. Larry Pearson has a 124-point lead over Sam Ard, and a lot is going to happen if Ard wants to claim his second Busch Championship. Jimmy Hensley and Brett Bodine lead us to the green flag to decide the 1987 Busch Series champion in 150 laps. Dale Jarrett tries to make it 3 wide but settles in the third, while Hensley takes the lead. All eyes on Sam Ard and Larry Pearson. On lap 10, Brad Teague ends up turning Max Presswood, as a couple others would end up being collected as well. Jimmy Hensley suffered damage on pit road, and Brett Bodine leads at the restart on lap 17. Lap 24, Sam Ard was wasting no time as he turns the lapped car of Paul Radford. Luckily, no one else was involved, but Pearson had a close call. After pit stops, Elton Sawyer, the Daytona winner, led at the restart on lap 32. On lap 35, we saw championship implications as Larry Pearson got stacked up, turning Brad Teague, and Tommy Ellis got turned into Pearson. Luckily, Pearson was able to keep going, but is it going to be enough for Sam Ard? Brett Bodine leads to the restart on lap 42. Sam Ard is second. Lap 47, another pileup takes place on the front stretch, and we restart on lap 52. The next caution came out on lap 72 when Rusty Wallace turned John Linville on the backstretch. Brett Bodine continued to lead on the restart on lap 80. Then on lap 87, a tough break for Sam Ard as he had to come down pit road. His fuel strategy was not working out, and this will cost him greatly. Quite a few cautions later, we restart on lap 147. Brett Bodine has had the lead for most of the race, but now is being challenged by Grant Adcox. He's not able to get by Bodine, however, and the 1987 Busch Series season would end under caution with just 2 laps to go. Rick Mass ended up dumping John Linville, who's had a rough going in this race. And with that, Brett Bodine would win this race under caution. And now, the top 10 standings for the Busch Series this season. For Sam Ard, he wasn't able to capitalize on wins this season despite his consistency. With that being said, the 1987 NASCAR Busch Series champion with 9 wins, 15 top 5s, and 21 top 10s, he was nearly unstoppable, Larry Pearson. Congratulations to him and that 21 team for a historic season, to say the least. That will wrap up the 1987 Busch Series season for Sunday Night Lights. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep your eyes peeled. Coming soon, it'll be the Winston Cup Series turn to take action in 1987. More information will come out soon. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can also check out Noah Ferris and Jetman as well for more updates regarding Sunday Night Lights. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. This is Sonicals831, and I will see you in the next video.